Predict some wins and losses.
Shout out to the Raiders.
Shout out to the Raiders.
I got some thoughts.
I feel better about the Raiders this year than I have in a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Week 1, they're at the New England Patriots. I got them winning that game.
Yeah, I'm not ready to buy on the Patriots being anything yet. So yeah, I got them winning that one.
I think the Patriots are going to be better than they have been, but I think they're just going to look more competent. I kind of think that same thing for the Raiders. New England had a really nice offseason, but I'm going to take the Raiders in that week 1 game in New England. Pete Carroll, good coach, going to have that team fired up, ready to play week 1. Mike Vrabel, also a good coach out there in New England, but I'm going to go Raiders week 1. Then they come home and face the Chargers on Monday Night Football. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'll go Raiders because I just have them splitting.
So you have them at 2-0 now.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got them at 1-1. I should probably be writing this stuff down. At Commanders week 3, I've got a loss.
Yeah, I've got a loss as well. So I got 2-1. You got them at 1 and 2.
I've got 1 and 2. Home against the Bears, I've got a W. I've got them at 2 and 2.
Sure. I'll go W there as well.
Okay. Week 5 at the Colts, I've got another W.
See, this feels wrong because I got the Raiders at 4-1. That doesn't feel right.
I got them at 3 and 2.
I'm gonna go loss against the Colts.
Okay, so you've also got them at 3 and 2. Spoiler alert: I'm not high on the Colts this year. Week 6, home against the Titans, I've got a W. I've got them at 4 and 3. 4 and 2. 4 and 2.
Yeah.
I've got them at 4 and 2.
That feels
home against the Titans.
Feels high, but yeah, I think we both got them at 4 and 2 though.
I don't know, man.
The Raiders aren't starting the season 5-1 or anything like that. Like, come on, let's be real.
4 and 2 sounds like a lot.
It does. They could lose the Patriots game, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Week 7 at the Chiefs, I got a loss. Go to 4 and 3.
Then you know what? They're gonna lose the Jags game because it's like those Raiders. Damn it, we'll go 4 and 4 right there. We can't just be
that's after a bye week in week 8, though.
Yeah, but like, come on, we just assuming the Raiders sometimes have these lapses. The same way my football team does.
I know how I'm going to get there. I've got them winning that game.
Okay.
So I've got them at 5 and 3.
Sounds right.
I've got a loss at Denver the next week. That's 5 and 4. That's on Thursday Night Football in Denver, Mile High City.
Then you got in Las Vegas against Dallas on Monday night.
I've got a loss there. I've got 5 and 5. Okay. Then the Browns have got to win.
Should Sanders come into town?
Maybe 6 and 5 after beating the Browns. Then I've got a loss at the Chargers. I've got them at 6 and 6.
Damn, I'm getting swept.
Yeah. Got them at 6 and 6. They're going to win a division game. So we'll give them that home game against the Broncos. I'm going to go 7 and 6 with a win against the Broncos.
Okay.
In week 14. Then they're at Philly.
Lose by 30.
That's 7 and 7. Then at Houston. I've got a loss there. That's 7 and 8. Home Giants. I got to win.
And this is where like the vibes are lit because the Raiders are on the hunt graphic or whatever. They're right there near in the playoffs.
And they're going to beat the Giants in week 17. I've got them at 8 and 8.
Yeah. What do you got? Last game of the season,
Kyle.
Sets
them up for a home game
in Vegas
against the Kansas City Chiefs.
What do you got?
In Las Vegas.
Do the Raiders go to the playoffs or do they stay in the hunt?
Damn. They lose that game.
That's tough.
They lose that game.
I thought you were going the other way.
8 and 9. 8 and 9 feels right.
That's not a bad year.
No, for year one?
Yeah.
Like Pete Carroll and John Spytek?
Yeah, like John Pole's, like the Raider fans in the chat is like, what are your guys' expectations? I feel like 8 and 9 would be solid.
Yeah, in that range. And if one of those division games flips or maybe they beat maybe they beat a team like Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's the thing in the NFL. They say like 4 games can go any other way. It's the best a bunch of plays that go
as long as I think as long as they're just not anything, as long as they're not a disaster, right? Which I don't think they will be. Like it feels like they actually have real adults in the room now. So if they go 7 and 10 and man, you know what? They had a blocked field goal in this game, and then another game where man, that bad call in overtime didn't go their way, and they went 7 and 10 instead of 9 and 8. Like, I don't think that's bad. Now, if they go 6 and 11, and it's like, man, how did they win 6? All right, that could be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, Filthy McNasty Raider fan says that's exactly what he predicted. Chester Jackson says Raiders 9 and 8.
Yeah, 9 and 8 plays.
Yeah, Jay, I have them at 10 and 7. Steven, definitely unbiased here, 17 and 0.
Wow. I'm good. I'm just glad an unbiased opinion at 17 and 0.
Dr. David, I know he's been down on the Raiders since they moved and all that. Has him at 4-13. Says Geno will miss some games.
Damn.
I mean, that's
a disaster scenario.
Yeah.
That's super worst case. All right. Let's go to the Niners now. Week 1 at the Seattle Seahawks against Sam Darnold. I got 1-0.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, we're 1-0. So you got him sweeping the Seahawks this year, or maybe losing in San Francisco or Santa Clara? Excuse me.
We'll talk about it. I got him winning Week 1 against the Seahawks.
Okay.
I think you're going to get a fired up, motivated Niners team coming out of Week 1. Week 2 at the Saints, I got a W.
Yeah, that feels fair.
I got 2-0. Week 3 against the Cardinals, that's in Santa Clara. I have a loss against Cardinals.
Wow.
They always have a weird loss to the Cardinals.
Can't they have the weird loss on November 16th? I'm gonna go. I think they start 3-0.
You know what? Okay, you know what? That's fair. Okay, I'm gonna start 3-0. I got a win against the Jags. I got 4-0.
Oh, out on Trevor Lawrence.
Week 5 at the Rams, short week. I got a loss.
Yeah,
I think the Rams are gonna be good. Then the following week at Tampa Bay,
loss.
I've got a loss.
I agree as well.
I'm high on Tampa Bay this year.
Tampa
Bay, down on Indianapolis. So I got them at 4-2. 4-2. Then they come back. I think they rally against the Falcons. I think they get a win against the Falcons. I got them at 5-2.
D'Amico Ryans.
Does
CJ Stroud pick it up this season after his kind of down year in sophomore year?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go loss there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 5-3. And then they bounce back the next week against the Giants. I got them at 6-3. I think they get the Rams at home. I'm gonna go 7-3 there.
Here's
your loss to the Cardinals. I got 7-4. Man. I think this is gonna be a weird one.
No, yeah.
This is gonna be a weird one.
You think the Panthers not?
I think they get the Panthers.
Okay.
And then I think they lose the next weekend at the Browns.
Damn it. Jake Moody missed again?
I think they go to 9-4 going. Is that right? 9-4 going into their bye week? I think they go 9-4 going into the bye week.
It's a solid year right there so far.
With a loss at Cleveland where they beat the Panthers on Monday night. They're overlooking the Browns. They got the bye week coming up, and then they get punched in the mouth in a 10 a.m. start, and it's a weird game, and they lose. That's my prediction.
It feels fine. You got to beat the Titans coming off the bye week, I assume?
Coming out of the bye week, they get the Titans. The Colts, I'm sorry, Colts fans.
Kyle does not have you guys winning a game this season.
This is too many victories. I'm gonna have to redo this.
Well, that's the whole point. We're all gonna be wrong.
That's a good.
Like I had the Miami Dolphins going at 12-5 at one point. It's like, yeah, Jets, dial it down a little bit.
Beat the Colts to get to 10-4. Oh no, and then you lose your 10-5, 11-4. Is that 11-4? Oh my god. 11-4, then lose the last two. It's 11-6. That feels like a win too many.
11-6?
Yeah, even if they lose their last two.
It does because when is Brandon Ayuk back? And how good is he gonna be? And we're all in a
he's probably back. He's probably back mid-season. And is a shell, at least to start.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a 10-11 would be the max, but a 10-9 win season for the Niners, I think.
I think 11 is the high end. 11 is like a lot of things went right. But yeah, I think you're probably right. 9 or 10 feels just.
I could see 11 if Brock Purdy is that dude.
I know. I could see more than that if he's that dude. I know 10 and 11 is only one win different, but it feels so different to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the distance between 11-6 and 10-7 feels like the difference between.
A lot of the times, it's the difference
14-3 and 11-6.
Well, yeah, like a lot of times it's the difference between winning your division and having a home playoff game compared to your wild card team who snuck in.
Okay, so what I say, even if they lost, maybe they lose to the Seahawks in week 1.
Andre asked in the chatty house, does 11 wins get you the division? How good do you think the Rams are going to be? I think is the answer to that question.
Good. I think the Rams are going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think the Rams win like 12 or 13 games.
So, yeah, 11 wins does not.
No.
According to our thoughts on the Rams, then.
I'm going to pick the Rams to win the division, but I think the Niners get 10 wins in a wild card spot.
That feels right. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's there. Like, they're always going to be. KC talks about this on Deal with KC. Like, he wants them to be this just perennial, like almost like the Steelers, where you're just winning games. You might not necessarily be a Super Bowl contender that year, but you're always just in the mix, possible potential playoff team. Like, I think that could be the 49ers this season.
Yeah.
Where, like, they're not as good as they once were, but Kyle Shanahan is there. They have structure. Brock Purdy's playing well. Like, they're just.
Well, and they still have Nick Bosa. They still have Fred Warner.
Great players and stuff. So
the two hinge points with the Niners season. I mean, there's one that's the hinge point with every team. It's health. But you mentioned the Brandon Ayuk factor. What does Christian McCaffrey look like?
Yeah, they keep telling us he's healthy now.
Isaac Guerrero, very sneaky. Like, he was good last year. He showed flashes, but very sneaky. Got hurt in like every game he played substantial snaps in. So that's a major question mark. Trent Williams has not played a full season with the 49ers yet. So you have to pencil in 3 or 4 missed games for him. And I know that all of these things are every team deals with injuries, but with the 49ers, it feels especially dire because they just don't have the depth. At least it doesn't look like it. And that's the other hinge point. Are their rookies any good? Can Michael Williams play? Can Alfred Collins play? Can CJ West play? That's the 3 defensive linemen they drafted. If they can all hoop and they can all play, and there's a couple of those guys who are starters and another one who's a good rotation player, okay, then they're cooking with gas.
That's kind of what sped up the Rams progression.
Exactly. Too. Yes. That's why I believe in the Rams this year. Because the Rams just overhauled their defense in like one offseason. 49ers trying to do the same thing. And I when it comes to rookies and contributions, it's a massive question mark.
Yeah, you can never depend on them until they're actually doing the damn thing.
Yeah, because maybe there's an undrafted guy. Corey Kiner, the running back they drafted. Hey, maybe he's just better than Jordan James, the running back they drafted. Maybe. So they're relying a lot on their rookie class. They're relying a lot on good health. And if they don't get good health, then you're probably looking at something closer to like 7 or 8 wins. And if the rookies aren't any good.
Yeah, you just said something real quick about the rookies that kind of caught my brain right there. Like, Kyle Shanahan isn't necessarily the biggest proponent to playing rookies, is he? Like, it feels like hearing over the years, like, Kyle Shannon's like, if you're not doing it the way I want it, then you can't be out there.
I think that's very specific to like wide receivers and running backs.
Okay, that makes sense though. So we're depending on the rookies here. Like, Shannon's just so I needed it done a certain way, then I wonder how successful it's going to be. But if it's just the running backs and wide receivers, then yeah, I got that.
That's my concern with a guy like Ricky Pearsall, who even before he got shot last year, which is just insane. Even before he got shot last year, he had a hamstring injury that kept him out of camp. And then when he came back, he had a shoulder thing and he couldn't play in preseason and was wearing a non-contact jersey in practice and then plays 11 games and he had these flashes. But like, we saw Dante Pettis have an awesome rookie year 2 and then fall off the map. How does Ricky Pearsall adapt in year 2 where, hey, you know what? You're going to have a bigger role now. Or the expectation is that you have a bigger role now. Because they might go into the regular season with Juwan Jennings as wide receiver 1. DeMarcus Robinson, the veteran wide receiver they signed, 3-game suspension he could be facing. He might be out for 3 games. Brandon Ayuk, no idea if he's going to be ready for the regular season opener. I would be shocked if he is.
And if he does come back, what does he even look like at that point?
What is it even? Right. So you might be relying on this second-year wide receiver to play like a massive role in your offense, and you have no idea what he looks like across a full NFL season.
Yep.
So I think the 49ers ceiling to me is like we said, about 11. Maybe 12 if a lot of things go right for them. But I think there's a really, really steep drop off there where if a couple of things go wrong in the health department or this rookie class doesn't pan out, where we're looking at another year where they win like 6 or 7.
Be tough, but yeah, I think they'll branch around 10 to 9, I think.
I have another question about their schedule that we can get to. Maybe we can get to this in the handoff because I think it's Kenny today.
And he's actually out, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Okay, yeah, Kenny's out. So hopefully Damien's jumping in for the handoff. Even if he's not, I want to ask you this because I think it fits just kind of the NFL preseason analysis in general, not even specifically with the Raiders or 49ers, but with how we view schedules. We'll do that next. That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe Brazil's with us. We're the Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube here on ESPN 1320 at Sacramento Sports Center.